Hi, how are you? This is Bernard,
Hey, what's up, man? This is Rick.
and welcome to When's Leg Day, episode 2.
Episode two,
yeah,
number
so
two out of a long series that is coming ahead of us here.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But just a quick shout out to our viewers. We had 27 views of our first video, so let's clap it up for our
Yeah.
viewers,
Thank you for the support.
for the ones who tuned in at least.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we're definitely pumped about that. Wasn't expecting to get into the 20s or even single or even double digits, but that's pretty cool. So thank you very much. And today, so we'll be going again with 3 questions as last week, and I think that's the format we're gonna go with. We'll see. Maybe we'll increase it, but we'll see. But,
Yeah.
yeah, the 3 questions going good. So we're gonna start with our first question. So Rick, what's up with cardio?
Well, that's a very good question, and it's a question that a lot of people ask. Me personally, I believe that cardio is very important. What are the questions, right? There's actually a few questions to cardio. There's, how often, how intense. The truth of it is, cardio doesn't have to be that intense. A simple walk will do just fine. If you do go more intense, then you do get a little bit more of a benefit. It increases fat burn, increases overall mood, which is good. So yeah, I mean, I enjoy cardio. I do it a couple times a week in between my training sessions, and I experience a good benefit. How about you? What do you think, cardio?
What do I think cardio? Yeah, so as far as cardio, I think it's actually great, great exercise. I do cardio. I know, I guess, like, kind of like legs. I know people who, like, avoid cardio at all
Yeah.
costs, and I do it. I do cardio separately from, like, my weight training sessions, because that's kind of a cardio session because it goes long enough and my heart rate's up. I actually used to monitor it in my Apple Watch. But I do cardio, 1 to 2 times a week. Now, unless I'm working, because I started working construction, to help pay some of the bills. So that's also cardio. I do that. But yeah, I like low intensity, steady state. So less cardio, going for a walk. Now, middle intensity, or I guess high, depending who you ask, like jogging. But jogging I do usually in the summer. But yeah, I actually like cardio. I do feel better, like you said, my mood. I do feel, the endorphins, especially if I'm doing a little more intense cardio. Like I call it heat, high intensity interval training. Some people call it HIIT, but I just call it heat. And yeah, I think cardio is great. Doing it 1 to 2 times a week, and I think it does help you burn more energy, utilize more energy, so that's good. So if you're trying to cut, helps you burn a little more adipose tissue. But also cardio, that's why it's called cardio. It's good for your heart. Cardiovascular
Yeah.
health is important,
One of the most
especially
important muscles of everyday, living.
the most
The
important,
most
basically.
important, yeah.
Yeah, and Lord knows I've done enough. My heart's been through a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like my heart's been through a lot, so taking care of it's important. But yeah, I think cardio is great, and I do it. And I'm not sure why you wouldn't do it, except that it is boring.
Yeah, I mean, it takes some time. It's one of those uncomfortable things. It's like, you kind of just zone out into it, and but when you're really into it, I mean, it can really it has a very positive benefit.
And then also one thing which is overlooked, like cardio doesn't have to be exercise, non-exercise activity.
Yep.
So, whether, like Rick mentioned, going for a walk, but uh, sports, great cardio, basketball, soccer,
Tennis,
football,
you
tennis,
have
football,
a lot of
everything.
movement, a lot of change of direction, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Your body gets a full definitely a full workout, and your heart definitely does benefit from it as well.
Yep. And then I actually also started doing ballet like 2, 3 months ago. Uh, I didn't do it for cardio. I just did it just to learn another discipline, also flexibility, because my joints are stiff. I guess from years of not stretching enough or whatever.
Yep.
But like I said, I started doing ballet. I do that like once a week, maybe twice, but it's just another form of cardio that I get in. It's not an exercise, and it makes it fun. Especially in the summer, going for hikes, things like that. Just being outside and moving. It doesn't have to be a chore. I like working cardio into my regular, activities of daily living, I guess. Just something that I do. And it's not like, oh, I got to go to cardio. It's just, hey, I'm going to go move or do something like that.
Okay, yeah, if you're doing ballet, I'm looking forward to your first recital video.
Fourth of July.
All right, here we go.
Independence Day recital.
We'll see. Stay tuned for that one.
Stay tuned for that one. Yeah, there'll be Wednesday leg day ballet.
Yeah, and that's going to be probably the most intense. You know,
Yeah.
ballets, as you know, ballet, as you know,
It ain't easy.
it ain't easy.
It
no.
ain't easy.
So,
Question
so
two.
let me go. Yeah, question number two. So let me ask you. You know, we talked about cardio, and you know, what are some of the benefits? How do you track your progress in overall, actually, you know, training?
Training. Okay, so how do I track progress now? Yeah, great question. So as far as tracking progress, one thing I learned tracking progress, it's got to work for you individually. You know, because some of the cookie cutter ways just aren't as accurate. So the number one thing, which for tracking progress, is just how I look. You know, how I look in the mirror, how I look in pictures. You know, comparing, because to me it's more important really how I look, how I feel than how much I weigh. So that's number one. Two, feedback from friends and family. That's really important. Feedback,
That's
because
always a good one. Yeah, especially if they haven't seen you for a while. Yeah.
yeah, especially people who haven't seen you for a while. So if somebody you see periodically, like every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that.
Yep.
So you know, and this is organic feedback. I used to ask people for feedback, and I could see that was probably like kind of annoying. So
Yeah, I can see how you get put somebody on the spot. It's
yeah.
not really, you know.
Yeah, so I actually asked two people. One of them is Rick, like flexing and stuff. Ask him after we train.
Yeah.
And he's my training buddy, training partner, so that's normal. But yeah, so that's it. And then the third one is clothes, how my clothes fit. Am I getting a bigger size, smaller size, how it fits? So this is actually a new shirt for me. It's a new size. I went down a size. It's a little snug. So, but that's how I'm tracking progress, because like I mentioned in my first video, I have a lot of body fat to lose. Still have a lot of body fat to lose. So I'm gonna track how this shirt fits over the next, I would say, couple months. And also, the fourth one is my cup size, because I still got, I guess, breasts, moobs, whatever you want to call them. You know, I've had them really probably my whole life, except there was a short span in my early 20s when I graduated college when I lost too much weight too fast and rebounded. But yeah, so that's really how I track progress. And the one thing that I don't do is I do not weigh myself. I used to weigh myself, and you know, the numbers were consistently whether staying or going up or going down, whatever. But you know, the numbers did not translate to how I looked and how I felt and everything like that. And then I was, you know, I watch bodybuilding. I don't follow it that closely, but you know, I follow who wins Mr. Olympia and stuff like that. And Big Ramy, wanted to shout out to Big Ramy, the last Mr. Olympia, but he used to come in huge. You know, he was always talking about coming in 300 pounds or whatever that number was, but it was big. And then he started training with big Dennis James, and I was listening to an interview, and Dennis James was talking about how they were tracking progress and stuff and things like that. And he actually mentioned in the interview that, you know, told Ronnie, Big Ramy, we're gonna throw the scale out, and we're just gonna see how you're looking and things like that. And the first Olympia that he did not use the scale to track his progress is the first one he won. So that's something that I like to do. I like to learn from experts of practice, and bodybuilders, professional bodybuilders, are really the best experts at like manipulating how they look and body size and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
absolutely
that's
makes
really
sense,
how
yeah.
I track my progress. So Rick, how do you track your progress?
So, yeah, I take some of the same ways you do it. The mirror is definitely a good one. You know, just how do you look? You know, are you happy with the way you look? And if you're happy with the way you look, then that kind of falls into the second one, which is how your clothes feel. I mean, you can feel that if they're getting looser, if they're getting smaller in certain areas, that means you're putting on muscle in certain areas. That, you know, those are very very good ways to track it. I don't use the scale per se. I used to work in a job that required me to know my weight for safety reasons. But ever since I left that job, I don't really check the scale as much, because in all reality, it really doesn't matter. Everything that I've been seeing on the mirror, everything that my clothes are telling me is enough for me to just keep doing what I'm doing, which is sleep, eat, and train. Very good way to put on gains and stuff like and different what do you call it? Different ways to notice the progress that you're going. And this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. So you know it takes a little bit of time.
Okay. Now, one thing I didn't mention is like my favorite way to track progress is definitely feedback.
Yeah,
That's number one.
Yeah, it's
Unsolicited
like you
feedback at
said,
that.
organic. When people see you, they're like, "Wow," you know, and you can actually tell if it's genuine or not. So yeah, that's one of one of the more entertaining ones because it's like especially if they haven't seen you for a while, like I mentioned before.
Especially the what the fuck look.
Yeah,
What the fuck you
It's
been
like,
doing?
Exactly? What have you been doing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's it about
that's
progress.
that's it about progress,
Yeah,
man.
and that,
It's real. It's pretty straightforward and easy.
yeah.
You know.
So and as always, when we ask these questions, could wait till then, but like we want you to answer them in the comments. So any of the
Yeah,
questions are
absolutely.
fair game. We like to hear about it, and also before we go to the next one is asking questions in the comments for the next episode. We can do that as well.
Yeah, we can do that as well.
Yeah. But now our third question is: since it's Wednesday's leg day? What's your favorite leg exercise, or exercises?
Exercises, yes. I mean, there can always be more than one. So me personally, I like weighted squat. Definitely feel a lot of strain throughout the whole muscle group. One of my favorite, and if you push a lot of weight, it feels good.
Feels good.
And then if I were to choose one without weights, I would say split squat.
Split squat?
Yeah, nice. It helps with the balance. Works a lot of stabilizer muscles. Gets a nice burn. And if you want to make it a little bit more difficult, you can add it. Lean back, add a couple jumps in there, whatever you need to do.
Got it.
But yeah, how about you? What's your favorite?
I have a few favorite leg exercises. Same as Rick. Number one is regular squat, weighted squat, back squat, whatever you call it. And I don't like really using machines as much to like hack squat or anything like that. I do it, but it's not my favorite. But regular old school squat, the king of exercises, king of leg exercises. So I do that. I also like doing like different variations of the squat in the same position, but I like to do pause at the bottom, pause squat. That's real good. Then I go lighter with that, but pause squat and also tension squat. So I go really light with that. But tension squat is basically like you just keep tension on the muscle, and that's usually like the last set or two, just to really get that blood flow and just get that burn in there, to help tear those muscles so they can grow back bigger. And then my second is definitely, some people call it, I think it's like I call it the lunge walk. Some people call it walking lunge. So that exercise I like doing as a warm up with no weights because I think it's real good because I get a stretch. And then also I also do it weighted, but the way I do it, I know some people do it with like the weight on their back, and that's fine. I like to do it with like holding dumbbells because then it really works my core. And I learned when I used to do it with dumbbells before, for some reason, if I would lean the dumbbells forward too much, I would feel maybe like a little, not pain, but a little pressure in my lower back. So I just started learning how to keep my my spine more tight, and then I didn't get that lean. So so my back. So my back didn't hurt at all.
It's very important, yeah. You don't want your back to hurt when you're doing exercise.
No, you don't.
That's one thing you definitely don't want.
Yeah, especially like acute sharp pain if you have some dull pain from your training before.
Yeah, there's a difference between soreness and pain.
Acute injury.
Yeah, acute injury. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely that. So those are like really my two like exercises favorite, and but I also really like the walk and lunge, like I said, with no weights, especially after you do like a great leg session, right? So if I warm up with legs and then I do my walk and lunge walk, and then I finish with a lunge walk, it's just good overall. And I'm gonna add a little bit to it because the legs we're talking about, like it is mostly like quad heavy, So I'm gonna. I guess question 3.1 is, what's your favorite hamstring exercise?
Favorite hamstring, I'd say me personally would be good mornings.
There you go.
That's it.
That's it. Good mornings.
Good mornings. You get a good deep stretch, a good, it's a good feeling. It works a little bit of your lower back too, so you get that in there. It's one that's overlooked a lot.
Yeah, you don't see anybody doing it.
Yeah, nobody does it.
Well, some people.
Yeah, but again, what's the whole thing? Legs are uncomfortable, but yeah, that's part of it. It's part of life, right? You got to be uncomfortable to grow.
Yeah, that's definitely got to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
That's right.
Yes, so that's it really today for Wednesday leg day. I think we kind of did the order funny, but I was just too excited and I didn't want to forget. And
That's
because
right.
the one thing we did forget, we're supposed to start the episode with introducing, when's the last time we trained legs, and we completely skipped that.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
that's how we're
Yes.
supposed to introduce it. So what I'm gonna do is, since it is Wednesday leg day intro. Welcome to Wednesday leg day. I trained legs yesterday. When was the last time you trained legs?
I trained legs this morning.
Yeah, there you go. So, the most important question for anybody who's doing strength training or not even doing strength training is seriously, like, when's leg day?
When's leg day? You got to You got to do them.
You gotta do them.
Yeah.
And the reason is when you do legs, I'm not a big fan of studies and shit like that. Like, I get it, they're important, but I think we get TMI, too much information, and then we're using numbers and input that we don't really know how to use, and creating all these crazy exercise routines and food
Yeah. I mean, train your whole body. That's what you want.
Yeah.
You want to make every part of your body strong, and legs are part of it.
Yeah,
no
thanks for
matter.
the save because I was muttering over there. So, but what I was really wanted to say, oh my God, is the legs. Yeah, the exercises. There was a study that came out, and I prefaced my cynicism and skepticism of studies. There was a study that came out that when you do legs, especially heavy squats and stuff like that, just like I don't even know what's called, like chemical cocktail
Yes.
that your body creates. Scientists say, I don't know if those scientists ever squatted or anything like that. However, during the study, there was a study that came out that they said that when they were measuring like testosterone and growth hormone and all the goodies that come out in the chemical cocktail after you train, that the difference there is more testosterone and the growth hormone created in your body after you do a real good leg session.
Absolutely.
So
yeah.
legs are important for all your gains, and if you want to have bigger back, bigger arms, bigger chest, bigger shoulders, bigger trap, no neck, you gotta do legs.
Might as well throw in some big legs in there too.
Big legs in there.
Yeah.
And that's it. So thank you everybody for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in. WowFit. We want to thank our sponsor.
Oh yeah, thank our sponsor WowFit. It's we'll get into that what it is, but
Yeah.
we got these nice shirts, but yeah. So hopefully our goal is to have just as many views as we had last time,
Yep.
or more. So, and if you like what you see, definitely hit the like button. Definitely communicate with us through the comments. We would love to hear feedback. We would love to get questions about training, anything like that. And if there, we did answer who we were last week, but it was extremely general, real quick. So if you have any questions about our strength training routine or anything like that, definitely add it in the comments, and we'll be glad to answer them. So that's
Absolutely.
it. So thanks for your time
Thanks
today.
for your time, and for all you warriors out there, check in on your tribe.
Yeah.
Make sure everybody's good.
Yeah, definitely. And keep grinding, everybody.
Keep grinding,
Take care.
everybody.